Well, today I'm really excited to have Emma here with us because I feel like her story has been absolutely phenomenal and how clearly and tangibly you can see the impact of effective messaging in her business. So I'm going to let her introduce herself and what she does, and we'll take it from there.
Thank you, Fabi. My name is Emma, and I'm a rapid transformational therapist, and I specialize in healing the heart, changing the relationship blueprint for people so they can call in a new partner with confidence and trust and somebody that they'd never experienced before. And I'm super passionate about it. And for many years, I've done many trainings in marketing, in therapy, and I came across Fabi's marketing and it really just stood out to me. It really stood out to me. I knew I kept looking at all of her emails and what she was saying online on Facebook, and I just thought I want to work with this lady. I want to work with her because I was in Thailand, I had to wait, and then as soon as I got the chance to work with her, I signed up because I just knew it was going to be like the missing ingredient in my marketing. I knew that my message was calling in the wrong people.
I
So
love
I just as soon as I had chance, I was like, right, I'm signing on with Favi.
Perfect. I love it. We're excited that you did. So I want to hear a little bit first about what was going on in your business before. What were you doing marketing wise, and who were the type of people that you were bringing in? Like a little bit of what you were experiencing and what you were like. Just walk us through your life and business before we shifted your messaging.
So I started full time as a therapist 3 years ago, and the online space, I'm like generation X, so we kind of missed the whole social media thing, and it wasn't an easy thing to learn. So I employed a marketing consultant to help me for many months, who was helpful. But I was speaking to the people's pain points, and being, I guess, I think I was being a little bit salesy, but also I didn't have the confidence on the reels. And to be honest, for my generation, starting on social media, it's like walking uphill in sand a bit. And there's such a science to it that I was putting loads of stuff out there, loads of stuff and loads of stuff, and I was getting calls, I was getting bookings, but I was getting a lot of freebie seekers. I was getting a lot of no's, or I'll think about it on the call. And I was putting so much of my heart and soul into it. And I knew I had a great product to sell. And I knew it was just a matter of time. But even as the followers grew, I was getting more calls and I was getting a lot of no's, and it was becoming very disheartening. And also the clients I had some amazing clients, but then I had some clients that sometimes could be quite rude. I didn't feel comfortable with, like they would call me in the middle of the night, and they got quite demanding, and I started to feel like I did in my other profession. I felt like it started to become like a chore, and I wasn't enjoying it. And when I went back to the UK and I was able to do Fabi's course, I thought this is the last piece I need. I know I'm calling in the wrong people. Some right people, but like mostly wrong people, the freebie seekers, and I was feeling exhausted. And the way Fabi spoke about, if you speak to the right people, you'll call the right people in, and you won't just call the right people in, you'll call the people in that appreciate you, that don't need a phone call at like 10 o'clock at night on a Saturday, and then get upset when you don't answer the call like on Christmas Day. And this is the stuff I was getting. I was getting just the wrong people, and I started to dislike the job.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, and that's what it does. So, did you feel like your you felt connected to the message that you were putting out there, or did you feel like it was more like, okay, I know that I have to get visible. Let me show up, let me be consistent and hope, kind of like hope and pray that people will come in? Or did you feel like, yes, this is exactly the type of thing that I want to say? Tell me a little bit of like how you felt about your message and what were the clues with it? I mean, obviously you were getting clues in terms of who you were attracting, but did you feel like there was something missing there in terms of what you were sharing?
Yeah, I felt there was a big part. I mean, I was creating reels and videos and posts and putting it out there and just like hoping for the best, you know, and I was so grateful just to get a few likes and a few comments. And I would get people messaging me, you know, in the DMs, but I just knew there was something missing and I didn't know what it was, and it was something so obvious but so far out of my conscious awareness. And I guess I was, because I was talking to the pain point a lot, and I started to do these like funny reels that got a lot of views and a lot of laughs but not many clients. So I was like, oh my god, things are still not shifting, you know, I'm trying everything, and I'm not a quitter, you know. If something doesn't work, I'll try something else and something else. But I also employed like other coaches as well. And I just found, and to be honest, I'm going to be honest, that ever since I did Fabi's course, your course, Fabi, I've just unfollowed all those all the gurus, like the marketing gurus who send me emails. I've just unfollowed them and unsubscribed because they're not, yeah, they're missing the missing piece too.
Yeah.
So
I need to talk to them then. Okay, so then
yeah.
walk us through what happened. So, well, let's talk first about messaging, and then I want to talk about what happened with your Instagram because I think that that was an incredible story. But let's start first with your messaging and how that evolved and kind of like what the process was within the program and you uncovering what you uncovered in terms of what you wanted to say. So let's talk about that first.
In the course and like just doing the calls, they were really important. There was a lot of content that I was going over in the course, the recorded content, but I found that the live calls were really beneficial because there were certain things that I just couldn't get my head around, and you just said like one word and I just like got it. I was like, oh, that's my answer. And I started to think, the one thing that got me the most was when you said, you probably don't remember saying it, but it was such a light bulb. You said to me that if your client is going through heartbreak and she is a successful business lady, point out what is actually going right in her life so she doesn't forget about what is happening in a good way, what is flowing in her life. And the only thing that's really missing, the missing piece, is being successful in love. And I was like, oh my god. And that just opened up a whole like box of things that I could think about, you know, like the lady or the gent like stuck in the office, you know, thinking, oh, I've got to face this client, and but at the same time feeling the heartbreak. And this avatar came to life when I realized actually this is me at 35, 25, all those ages. And I thought every time I created a bit of content, something would like whiz inside of me if I got it like right or spot on or to the letter. Something would whiz in me and go, oh yeah, I remember feeling like that. So even though I thought I was expressing my avatar really well before your course, there was this missing piece, this part, the talking about the success, other successes in her life, not just the pain points and the desires, like most people are teaching what they've tried before. You know, many people who are actively looking for a service like a coach or a therapist, I've tried many things. So just understanding that and putting that in the marketing, I was finding that people was turning up to the calls and they was saying the words and phrases that I'd updated the website with, the new messaging. They was actually saying it on the call, and I thought, this is absolutely magic. And it's just, it's so like obvious but so far out of your conscious awareness that people are going to show up how you talk to them. So
Yes.
if you talk to them in like, oh, the world's ending, you haven't got a life anymore, or just like
Hopeless.
at the pain
Yeah.
points, and that's what you're going to call in the person that just wants to wallow in that, and not the solution based action takers that are actively looking for a therapist. So that was a massive turnaround. And just having that intention before I write any piece of content, I know it's going to pull that person in. So it's just like magic,
Yeah.
really.
And the other part that I loved about the process with you was how you ended up coming up with your main kind of angle of mastery and concept of the heart's hidden heart. What is it? Strings, right?
Fighting and heartstrings.
There
Yeah,
we go.
yeah,
And
yeah.
how that came to life too, and really made so much sense. Tell me a little bit about that too.
Yeah, so my process is quite complicated to explain to someone who's never done therapy training or who isn't a therapist. And I always grappled with, when I used to get on a call at the end, when it turned into a little bit of pitching for like to buy. So, oh, I've heard your challenges and goals. And this is my offer. I used to struggle with that because I never knew how to like transition from what they told me into my offer. So the mind's hidden heartstrings was a concept that came up when I was researching my angle of mastery, and it described the process in a nutshell, and it nailed it down so far that I could actually put it in a social media post. Whereas before, I felt like I had to create a whole like 10-minute webinar just explaining what it does. So it just narrowed down my message so somebody would understand it. So the mind hidden's heartstrings is what causes us to break our own heart, eventually, by attracting different certain types of people or showing up in a relationship in a certain way and sabotaging it. And so the mind's hidden heartstrings just gives it simplicity, so people are able to understand it and have a visual, because I do heal the heart, but I'm a subconscious reprogrammer. And it's really hard to they'll say, well, how are you healing my heart if we're using hypnosis? Well, actually, you've got the mind's hidden heartstrings
Yeah,
there.
I love
They
that.
need
I
to
love
be,
that.
they need to be, clipped.
Exactly. The other
We
thing
relate
that
to
I found really interesting with you, and one of the things that I enjoyed most about your process was, I remember very clearly you coming to a call, I think it was more than one call, ask me almost like, well, what is the precise formula for content? And I kept on telling you, this is about you figuring out what works well for you and really discovering your process. And I kind of guided you through that a little bit. And so you started creating content in a different way, and everything massively shifted in your business. So I want to hear a little bit about that experience and what happened in your Instagram as well.
yeah. And but I put this down a lot as well to the mindset work that
Yeah.
we was I think because I believed in your process so much, as well as the techniques. I
Yeah.
believed in your process so much that when I first started it, I was like, right, this is the missing piece, and this is going to work, and it's going to be so good. And I think just having that
Yeah.
belief in the process as well really helped me to create magic out of whatever came up. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And what happened? Tell us the story of like what happened with your Instagram. I think was it that you opened a new account, or did you already have that account?
I opened a new account because my old account was, I'd bought bot followers, and I changed the name, and also I had a reel that went viral that wasn't in my niche. It was like a lifestyle reel, and they say that's really bad for an account. So I asked my intuition and I said, okay, should I open another Instagram account? And I didn't want to start again. And my intuition just went, yes. So I opened it and I was posting every single day before I met you, actually. I was posting every single day. And then I think I got to 250 followers. And that's when I started to work with you. And I started to implement the messaging and the mindset, like just keep going, keep putting it out there. And I kept I used a bit of your messaging in one post and different messaging like tips in the other post, and I was just testing it to see what was working. And this one morning I woke up and there was a reel and I was just getting all these notifications and I was thinking, what the hell is this? And I opened this reel and it was up to like 1 million views, and it just started to climb and climb and climb, and it's now I think gained me about 37,000 followers.
Amazing.
And I feel what I felt that as well, what I felt in the group was that I had all of these wonderful entrepreneurs, like all supportive people, all with a brilliant, fantastic message, all had a wonderful product, but then just their messaging was off. And just having that group energy gave me so much power. Honestly, it was just wonderful because it's such a lonely journey being an entrepreneur, as you know. And sometimes you just, like you say, I'm just putting things out there. But because I had like the group energy and you, Fabi, like when I listen to your videos, I just want to create content. I don't know what you like. So I might be having like a tired day and I'll put one of your videos on and I'll go, oh, I need to write some content, and I'll just write about 10 posts in an hour.
I love that.
Yeah, so just having a system that I trusted, having great mentorship from you, and also having the group energy and that support and feeling like I was part of something. It gave me that power and that boost. And it also gave me an idea of who the people I want to work with. Ideally, the people like your people are my ideal people as well, obviously, if they was going through heartbreak. So just to get to know these people were giving me so many ideas about who the people I want to work with. You know, ambitious, driven, heart-based, just lovely, lovely people. So all of that, the whole container, Fabi. And you know, when I had a problem, you was always able to like message me back like within, and I can't believe you only work like 4 hours a day because you fit so much in. And I always felt like you was there to support me with a voice note, or and just to support just all of it really. And I think it honestly, it's like accumulation of everything that was in the course that really like propelled me forward. And now I've got a business that, and only what, 4 months ago I was grappling for clients. Oh, I feel so sad. I'm never going to get there. No, don't think like that. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. And then when I did your course, it was almost like something was just pushing me. The whole energy of the program was just pushing me, and it hasn't left me, to be honest.
I love that.
It's
So what's happened then? Tell us what's happened with your business. I mean,
I've
apart
got
from your Instagram getting so many views and so many followers and all of that, what's happened with clients?
the people that have been booking the calls are my kind of people. Obviously not all, but compared to how it was, oh my god, it's like it's done a 180. The people that are getting on the calls are saying the words, like I said before, saying the words and phrases that are on my website, but they're also the people that I in my heart wanted to call in. Conscientious, thoughtful, respectful of your time, or everything that I wrote down in my sheet in the first module. They're showing up, and just like having that intention of seeing every single person as my peer, not I need to save you, I'm here to save you, which I wasn't a lot like that, but I was a bit like that.
Mhm.
So just like, and the people that are showing up are people that I think, oh, I could be friends with this person. You know, they're really cool. I really like them. And just yeah, and I'm getting people that just say like, how can I work with you? So I now do this thing where I followed your guidance, and I've changed the website, all the wording, all the messaging, everything. But I also did a workshop many months ago that I need to update, but I take them through the process that you show your clients, the 20-minute call. And time they get on, when they're on that 20-minute call, they're like, how can I work with you? And I say to them, oh, this is just the 20-minute coaching call. We need to book another one for that, which is great. So just trying things out, and doing things this way, it's just changing everything. Because instead of like, oh, would you please work with me energy that I had before, they're now, how can I work with you? I really want to work with you. And that is just, oh, it melts my heart, because I think for 3 years I have just struggled. Like, it's been a real struggle. There's been tears, there's been days when I wanted to give up. And like now I just jump out of bed every day, and I can't wait to create content, and I can't wait to serve, and I just, all of it, it's just changed everything, Fabi. And I'm just so grateful to you and your team, honestly. And I wanted to do this video more than anything, because if anything, anybody is out there who's doubting whether to work with you, right? I wouldn't doubt it at all, because I wish I'd have found Fabi 3 years ago, you know.
Well, your journey is what it is. Yeah,
I
that's
need
amazing.
to go through all of that, for me to grow and learn. I believe everything's got a process,
Yeah.
but it would have saved me a lot of heartache, put it that way. Yeah.
I have one more thing that I want to ask you about, and because I know that I've gotten lots of messages from you about this, and it's like the mindset work. It's so funny because obviously what I do is messaging, but there's a lot of, I feel like, identity shift within the program, and I have a whole module on that topic. And so I kept on getting messages from you like, oh my God, I'm doing this and this is amazing. And so I want to hear a little bit of what that part of the experience was like for you.
At the end of the course, I went into the mindset part, and yeah, just those videos, the way you explained the subconscious mind, which is a subject that fascinates me. But this one practice was just to feel what success and abundance feels like in your body, to just feel it. And when I was doing this practice, I was meditating, feeling the feeling of abundance in my body. And I just happened to look up, and the sign shot up and it said the answer. And then I was watching something on the television, and it all sounds a bit woo, but I do like a bit of this now and again. And then something come up on the television and it said the answer. And I thought, this is the answer. Okay. So okay, we're going to do more of this. So I was like meditating, feeling the feelings of abundance in my body. Not just that, feeling the feelings of safety and letting go. And I just manipulated it into my own as well. But when I started to do this, I remember it was the weekend I started to do this, and I was doing 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening. And then all of a sudden people started to book in, and there were people from ages ago coming forth and
Mhm.
booking it, and referrals. And then I got told that my visa was going to cost like an eighth less of what it was meant to. So it was like you said in the videos, you said money will just come to you, success, abundance will just come to you out of the woodwork, and it will come from places where you don't expect.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God, this stuff works. And for people out there who know this stuff works, sometimes you need somebody that you can trust, that somebody that you've seen it happen in their life, for you to really embody it and to believe in that method. And all of this I seen in Fabi. So I've heard your journey, Fabi, and I know that it was difficult for you, and it really made me feel better from my perspective of where I was. at the time, because it just gave me hope that this is possible. This is possible. Fabi's done it. All her clients have done it. I can do it. Woohoo!
Right,
Uh,
right.
so when
No,
I get
I
this,
think that sometimes it's a matter of, you know, a lot of us know this stuff, right? I'm sure like you, I've been through multiple programs and read lots of books and all these different things, but suddenly somebody can explain it to you in a different way, and it's just slightly different, and it feels like, oh, that makes sense. Like, yeah,
yeah,
now I understand. So you know, I have a whole lesson on this topic just from my own experience. And I've created meditations and things, which I used to be the person that would never meditate, but now I do it every day. And I have my own way of doing kind of meditation and prayer and all these different things. And it's so interesting because for me, it's changed a lot of things, but I also see it for a lot of my clients too. And it's so funny. Again, it's like, we know this, but it's, oh, wait, I hadn't heard of it like that.
mhm, exactly what it was like. Exactly what it was like. And I just, yeah, I just started to see things change even more. And yeah, it's just been magical, Fabi. It's just been absolutely magical. And I can't thank you enough. And I think I've paid for my course already. I think I've got the money back, um, from what I paid
Mhm.
already. So, and it's only been a month since I finished. But also I do feel a little bit with my work, I'm a little bit before my time with what I'm doing. And
Mhm.
people are now coming forward and saying, I never ever thought of subconscious blocks in relationships, but it makes sense. So it's like I'm a little bit before my time, and it's a slow burn for me, and that's good for me, because I think if somebody give me even like 2 years ago, the following that I've got now and the clients that I've got now, I wouldn't have been able to handle it.
Mhm.
So a slow process is, I think, sometimes better
Yeah,
than going whoosh, like this, because I don't think people's nervous system can handle it.
I
So
agree.
yeah,
I
and
love
I
it.
just in the process, and just feel what it feels like in your body. And if it feels good to work with someone, go for it, and trust that, because it never lies. Never lies.
100%. Well, we've loved having you around, and it's been amazing seeing you just flourish and show up and create and your business grow and all the things that I've seen, and it's been incredible. Thank you so much for everything. Any last final words? I mean, I think you said a lot of amazing things, but any last final thing that you want to add?
For that person that's sat there looking through your emails, uh,
The billion emails that I sent.
yeah, for that person who's maybe looking at a couple of people to work with and deciding who to work with, and who are not quite sure, I would 100% recommend working with Fabi, because you will not regret it.
I love it. I love it. Last thing, where can people find you in case they want to go into look at your stuff, they need help with heartbreak, where can they find you?
Or if anybody wants any tips on Instagram, or if they need their heart healing, then you can find me at the relationship.reset on Instagram.
Perfect.
The
Awesome.
relationship reset.
Awesome. Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Emma, for sharing your story and your journey with us. All
You're welcome. It's been my pleasure.
right.
Thank you. Bye.